Parenting a sensitive child, parenting expert Michelle McVittie joins us now with tips on how to help them build confidence. So first of all, like, what is a sensitive child?
Yeah, I think a sensitive child, I mean, it's not a diagnosis, but it is something that a parent can pick up on. This is a child that maybe is a little more shy and timid. They'll say, well, the teacher yelled at me, or my friend doesn't like me, because maybe the friend didn't do something exactly like they liked. You can also see children that maybe are a little more sensitive to their clothing, or the sounds, or the crowd.
Right.
And sometimes that'll come out in behavior that is more explosive, and some children will, I call it turtling, where they kind of, I don't like this and I need to shut down, which also is difficult for parents.
Right. So, like, what do? You can't keep them at home and sheltered, right? Because that's not going to help them grow.
No, it's not. But I think a lot of parents want to do that, especially for the more shy, timid child. They have a lot more compassion for that. Sometimes the parent is also a super feeler themselves.
Yeah.
So they see, oh my goodness, this just happened. Let's just hold her close. Or other parents will say, geez, I'm walking on eggshells because I can't say no to this child, or they'll melt down. And so we're accommodating, and the child learns, I melt down, I get what I want, or I can't do this, so I'm going to stay protected and I can avoid, instead of co-regulating with them and helping them ride the wave of discomfort.
Okay, and how do you do that?
Well, it's hard because especially we were not brought up this way, a lot of us, right? Like, suck it up, you're fine. What are you crying about? Get into that party. You know, this is, you're good.
You're going to have a good time.
You're going to have a good time, right? And it's like, give me a minute. So I think for you, you need to be self-aware. I'm actually feeling sensitive. I don't like this crowd. What am I teaching my child? Because I avoid the Christmas parties, or I walk away and I don't come back. Maybe I explode. So you want to also be aware of yourself, and then how do you teach your child? So you have to tolerate your own distress and a little bit of distress in them, but just validating, being their calm, and what is it they need? They may need to step away. They may need a hug. They may need to work on all these things ahead of time. Everybody does, every day. But in the moment, what do they need? Have a conversation.
Okay, and just kind of know what might trigger them too, right?
Yes, knowing their triggers. And I think, you know, we give them the purple cup and they want the blue cup. It's not about the cup.
Yeah,
you know, right?
There's something else.
Yes, it's about the room, or my pants are too tight, or I had a test, or my brother and sister didn't want to play with me yesterday. And it's like an accumulation of things, because some days we wake up okay. Some days we put on our socks and there's no issue. Today the seam is driving me crazy. So how do we handle? I see you're upset, and then redirect them. So validate them and then redirect. I call that connect and redirect. These are the strategies that work in the moment and are really effective. It doesn't mean the child's going to be cheery, but at least you're seeing them, you're hearing them, and it does diffuse. And then redirect.
Right.
Do you need help, or are you going to do it on your own?
So maybe it's getting a different pair of socks.
Yes, or wearing sandals.
Yes.
Or going with no socks in your boots and tolerating that.
Okay, and tolerating that, just knowing it's going to get past the thing. Well, these are helpful tips because I'm sensitive to big crowds and noise and sometimes smells. So it's
I think it's being aware, and what can I do? I can't control that person that's way too loud. So how do I step away instead of sitting there and being a feeling squisher and saying that person needs to be quiet?
All right. Always great tips. We'll get your socials up on our website, chch.com/morninglive. Thanks, Michelle.
Thank you.